Hi everybody and welcome back to another Legends of Runeterra video and gameplay. Today I've got kind of a experimental deck that I'm working on. I guess right during the initial release of the Rising Tides, we got a couple of new cards from Piltover and Zon, one of them being the Insightful Investigator. And this was always kind of an interesting card to me. It seemed like it had some good synergy with some cards in Piltover Zon, and there's a lot of 2-cost cards in the game. So, the Insightful Investigator, when you play a 2-cost card, you draw one and give it fleeting. So this is kind of a value engine where if we play, 2-cost cards, we draw more and more over and over again. And so you can build your deck around this and make it really interesting. And yeah, just deal a whole bunch of damage with all these 2-cost spells and 2-cost units and swarm your board as soon as you get this card down. Now the problem with this card is that you're fairly reliant on it, and so we're almost forced to mulligan really aggressively since we're building the whole deck around this card. Yeah, we have to mulligan pretty aggressively for her and then play her turn 4. And then we need at that point as well to have 2-cost cards in our hand to get value out of her. Alright, and in the past I have made decks with more 2-cost cards. So for example, we've only actually got 14 in this deck, which is an okay amount. It makes it so that we aren't completely reliant on her all the time, and we've got other win conditions, which is kind of interesting. And so this turns kind of into an early games aggro deck, it could be. And so we are also including some augment cards, Sumpworks map, we're including the Spacey Sketcher, and discard options as well. So what we've got here is Jury Rig, Spacey Sketcher, Ballistic Bot, and Flame Chompers for early game. So we're going to be invoking, we're going to be creating our ignitions and powering up our augment units, and then we're going to be able to get some card draw with Rummage and with our discard cards. And that's just in case we don't draw the Insightful Investigator, so that we can end up drawing her. Alright, and then later on down the line, what we've got here is Trail of Evidence. Trail of Evidence is actually a pretty interesting card. I'm only running 2 of it, but the reason why this is interesting is that it's a 2-cost card that's creating more 2-cost cards. When you initially create the card, it costs 0, but if you don't have more 2-cost cards in hand, what this allows you to do is wait till the next turn to play it until it is a 2-cost card, and then you can get more card pulls from the Insightful Investigator. So kind of an interesting way to use that card. And then later on down the line as well, we've got Get Excited, Mentor of Stones, Android Bastion, and then the Insightful Investigator. So this is far from perfect. It's definitely not a top tier deck. It's definitely meme status, and I'm still working on it, trying to fix a couple of things. We may end up, fitting in Zoe or something eventually. I need to test it out just a little bit more. I don't know that the augment necessarily makes sense at the moment, just because I don't have a whole bunch of created cards. We do get a little bit of invokes, but that's kind of why I'm deciding whether or not I want to include Zoe in it and potentially get rid of something like the Flame Chompers. Since I'm just using it as a discard anyway, the 2-cost ability on that or the 2-cost card itself, working with the Insightful Investigator, it doesn't do us a whole lot of good if we're discarding it with Rummage or with the Spacey Sketcher. So there's that to think about. And then Zoe is producing 2-cost cards as well when she hits the Nexus. So we may end up just putting in Zoe and getting 2-cost cards from her. You can always invoke a Celestial card that costs 2 as well. So tomorrow you'll probably see more of, I just realized this is Dragon. Tomorrow we may end up seeing more gameplay of this. We'll probably see more gameplay of it, and I'll probably test out Zoe. But for today, this is how the deck stands, and I probably won't be putting it up on Mobilytics. I'll end up sharing the deck code, but this one isn't a complete deck at the moment. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and we will see you tomorrow. Thanks. We're going against Aurelian Soul and Trundle. Let's see if this guy is actually here. It took him a long time to get started, so I wouldn't be surprised if this is just going to stop. Alright, I'm going to get rid of all 3 of these. Going to keep the Insightful Investigator. Okay, interesting. Alright, we're going to go with Ballistic Bot here, so this is going to guarantee that we get at least 1 damage every round. Just kind of cool. Going to attack here. I bet he doesn't block. He's probably got Catalyst in hand.
Can you improve perfection?
Alright, so I think what we want to do at this point, I think we play the Mentor of Stones and we can follow this up with Ignition.
System upgrade. Fire till nothing moves.
And in the round now, I think we attack before he can Avalanche, and then I'm going to play this Insightful Investigator afterwards. So this is a pretty big hit here. He doesn't block it either. He's at 3. Yeah, I think we play the Insightful Investigator here.
First day on the job. The gun's real.
What will you have?
Alright, it's fine.
System
Nice.
upgrade.
Now he's at 7.
These are
Okay, Trundle comes out. I can kill it if I use Ignition immediately. So this should prevent his Trundle from attacking.
join me if you want to live.
If he attacks, that tells me that he has a... or not. Okay, I think we actually can spread out a little bit here.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty sparkle fly.
I don't want to use my 2 drops.
System upgrade.
And we end. Okay, this seems okay.
Ready.
Oh, floaty crystals.
Progress.
After them.
I do think we attack with everything.
They look angry.
We actually have lethal here if he doesn't have a way to heal.
Yes, of course.
Alright. Yeah, we've got Ignition. Man, just needed those.
System
So now I think what we can do here,
rise, metal brethren.
I think playing this second Insightful Investigator actually isn't a terrible idea. This is going to allow us to search for get excited.
Can you improve perfection?
I think he's going to be kind of incentivized to play this Ice Pillar.
I'm gonna make a U-sickle.
And this is fine.
The king.
We do have some big units, so it's kind of hard for him actually to attack here. I don't know what's the matter with this animation recently. We get to... I do think we go for this.
Meatbags. I'll knock 'em dead.
He's got to decide who he's going to pull. We can still kill him. We've got the Charger here. So what has he got? Troll Chant? He must have Troll Chant.
One smack'll do. Troll out.
Yeah, I don't care. pretty sure we go like this.
Fire till nothing moves.
We don't use the elusive keyword here, which kind of sucks, but we also have a nice
See the Demacian border.
spell shield here.
Can you improve perfection?
Alright, so let's go ahead. Let's play the messenger here.
Fall into place.
There's our get excited. So all we need to do now, I think, is 3 gems onto this charger into get excited.
Prime and ready. Safety disengaged. System upgrade.
We're just gonna pull this ice pillar here and get the win. So yeah, we had multiple win conditions there with get excited as well. Yeah, kind of cool.